A girl mysteriously disappears while relaxing by the hotel pool. After 20 long hours, her body is unexpectedly found in the same waters that had been thoroughly searched several times before. The family refuses to accept the official version of events. In search of answers, they travel over 5,000 miles to reach America. What they manage to uncover will shock you to the core. Adriana's body was transported to Georgia on Monday morning. Her loved ones were forced to take a desperate step. They intend to challenge the conclusions of 3 international pathologists by seeking a 4th expert opinion. It's their last hope to find out the truth. Dr. Terry faced the most complex case in her practice. The girl's body had been embalmed. The most important evidence is already lost forever. Embalming significantly alters tissue structure. The passage of time irreversibly destroys forensic evidence. A fresh corpse for examination is no longer available. All that remains is a kind of forensic archaeology. The first thing Dr. Terry managed to ascertain surprised absolutely everyone. She highly praised the work of the initial team of pathologists in Guyana. The first examination of the body was conducted very thoroughly and professionally. Not a single injury was overlooked. No evidence was left unattended. The family hoped to hear completely different answers in America. Instead, the expert confirmed the findings of the initial examination. But then a true revelation emerged. When Dr. Terry was asked if she believed Adriana had drowned, she hesitated to answer. Despite 3 previous conclusions, she refused to unequivocally affirm it. Why did she have doubts? Drowning is a diagnosis of exclusion. Before establishing it, it is necessary to rule out all other possible causes of death. When a body is found in water, assumptions about drowning are often made too hastily. No single detail of the autopsy proves the fact of drowning. Dr. Terry went even further. She noted that she would hesitate to claim the girl had drowned, given the described circumstances. First, let's imagine this scenario. A child is playing near the water and suddenly drowns. A few minutes later, they are found underwater. It seems quite logical. But now, let's consider a completely different situation. A child vanishes completely from sight. Trained professionals search the pool multiple times. There is no trace of the body anywhere. Suddenly, after 20 hours, she appears on the surface of the same water. How is that even possible? It can't simply be attributed to drowning. Dr. Terry called these circumstances extremely problematic. The American expert identified the same alarming discrepancies that haunted Adriana's family. Dr. Terry made an exceptionally important observation that everyone else had missed. The investigation should not be limited to the autopsy results. It should focus on finding out what happened during those 20 missing hours. The medical examination only tells part of the story. The real answers lie in those lost hours. How could it be that trained searchers did not notice the body in a small pool? Why did it suddenly appear where they had already searched? These questions demanded real answers. A few hours after Adriana's body was transported to America, the Guyanese police released their final report. The timing for this seemed to be chosen very carefully. Drowning. No signs of a crime were found. The case is officially closed. The report described in detail the procedures for additional testing. Toxicological analyses yielded negative results. DNA testing revealed nothing suspicious. No evidence of an attack was found. The police explained everything by natural decomposition processes. Bodies initially sink, and then the gases that form cause them to float to the surface. But answers to key questions were still not provided. Leonard McCorshan joined the investigation with 30 years of police experience behind him. For 20 years, he had investigated suspicious deaths and murders. His competence was beyond any doubt. McCorshan studied over 400 pages of official documents. He meticulously examined digital forensic evidence. He analyzed the testimony of dozens of people. His conclusions coincided with the results of the medical examination. No evidence of a crime was found. But McCorshon made one very important observation that everyone else had completely ignored. What if a thorough examination had been conducted properly from the very beginning? Then the case probably would not have gained such international attention. Consider this thesis carefully. The entire international controversy arose due to one critical flaw. An imperfect initial search operation. Local residents surveyed the pool where Adriana disappeared. Swimming instructors searched the water. Hotel staff checked every corner. Family members desperately searched everywhere possible. Police organized their own searches. But none of them came across the girl's body. How is that even possible? McCorshon's investigation revealed important details captured by surveillance cameras. No one left the hotel premises under suspicious circumstances during that critical time period. There was no evidence that Adriana had been taken somewhere from the pool area. And most importantly, the video confirmed that the hotel owner, Mr. Bola, was not present at the time when Adriana disappeared. This evidence refuted the widespread rumors about his possible involvement. The evidence was clear and unambiguous. But despite this, serious doubts did not go away. Despite the extensive investigation and numerous examinations, Adriana's family could not accept the official version of events. The family's grief was undisguised and heart-wrenching. Given the circumstances, their disappointment raised no questions. They had high hopes that the autopsy in America would provide completely different answers. But instead, it largely confirmed the initial medical findings. However, confirmation from a medical perspective did not dispel the family's main doubts about the time frames and gaps in the search. This case revealed serious systemic problems that went far beyond the personal tragedy of a single family. When initial searches face such obstacles, it completely undermines public trust. When false information is received at critical stages of the investigation, families lose all faith in the process. Initially, the police assumed that Adriana had left in a car. This information sent searchers in completely different directions during the precious time when there was still hope of finding her alive. For experienced pathologists have now thoroughly examined Adriana's remains. Dr. Paul from Barbados, Dr. Rudner from Mount Sinai Hospital, Dr. Collins from Delaware, and Dr. Terry from Georgia. Their conclusions consistently matched during each examination. No evidence of physical injuries was found. No signs of a struggle were discovered. There was no indication of an attack. Medical evidence pointed to an accident, drowning as the cause of death. But the circumstances remained extremely disturbing for everyone involved in the case. Dr. Terry's study shed light on the disappointing truth about the limitations of forensic science. When a body is embalmed and has undergone significant decomposition, critically important evidence disappears forever. The best opportunity to get answers comes during the very first autopsy. Dr. Terry's confirmation of the quality of the initial examination in Guyana gave even more weight to this case. No injury went unnoticed during the autopsies. McCorshon's decades of professional experience led to definitive conclusions. Surveillance camera footage did not record any suspicious activity. Eyewitness testimony did not provide any evidence of criminal behavior. The physical examination revealed no traces of violence. He particularly noted the absence of any evidence that the body had been removed from the pool and then returned. The investigation was thorough and professional. The conclusion was clear and unambiguous. But despite this, disturbing questions about the sequence of events did not go away. One question haunts this case the most. How can someone suddenly appear in water that had already been searched before? Was the search methodology fundamentally flawed from the very beginning? Were the rescuers insufficiently prepared for emergency situations? Or did they simply miss obvious evidence right in front of them? Or is there some other explanation that investigators have not yet fully considered? It's quite possible that this mystery will never be solved in a way that satisfies everyone. Behind all the investigations and examinations, there remains an undeniable fact: the family has irrevocably lost their beloved daughter. Adriana was just a child. She loved swimming and spending time with her grandmother. That evening, she should have returned home safe and sound. Instead, she found herself at the center of international disputes and discussions. The human tragedy is lost behind all these procedural issues and technical debates. Despite the official conclusions of several experts, some private investigations are quietly ongoing. The family's legal team hinted that they would consider additional options, regardless of the official results. The fight for complete answers is not over yet. A little girl died under mysterious circumstances. Her loved ones sought the truth through numerous autopsies and large-scale professional investigations. All the experts reached a single conclusion: an accident, drowning. But do all the evidence really point to this? Let's break it down. Scientific evidence repeatedly points to accidental drowning. Evidence collected by the investigation shows no signs of a crime. But questions about the specific circumstances and sequence of events are not going away. How could it be that several trained specialists did not notice the body in a relatively small pool? Why was false information disseminated at the most critical stages of the investigation? What lies behind the family's specific observations and concerns? It is quite likely that these questions will never receive answers that would fully satisfy everyone involved. Sometimes the hardest thing is to admit the fact that some mysteries simply cannot be fully unraveled. Let's return to the present. For Adriana's family, the experts' agreement on the medical aspect of the case does not bring peace of mind. Questions haunt them every day. The pain does not fade for a moment. For the official authorities, the case is closed. But for the grieving family, the search for complete understanding continues. And sometimes this uncertainty becomes the heaviest burden. Adrianna Younge was a young girl. She deserved to grow up in safety. She deserved to come home that day. Instead, she found herself at the epicenter of a dispute that may never be fully resolved. I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Until next time, friends.